We got to get this Karis LeVert segment.
All right, here we
in.
go.
Let's get the Karis.
It's been on the rundown for a while. I'm going to set it up with the numbers. And LeVert has been a changed man over the last month
gotten
in
into
particular.
him?
It's been unbelievable. Steve, take the graphic forward. Let's just look at his splits from March versus February. He was horrendous in February in 9 games. In March, he's been tremendous, exactly what the Cavs had hoped for in a sixth man in 12 games now.
You're missing an important stat there, which is important to this conversation, and that's how many minutes per game.
About the same.
What's that?
Almost exactly the same.
Really?
Yes, I will get you the
Wow.
exact numbers, but it was not staggeringly different.
Well,
I'll pull it up as we speak.
Close,
Well, now, was that picture there on the left where he's got Rose, was that taken during the February and earlier part, and then on the right where he's letting it grow out, a recent photo?
I will double check on the
Maybe
dates
it's the
on those,
hairstyle.
but he has been a different man, exactly what the Cavs have needed.
God, he's
for the
been
record,
way
Bull,
better.
Month-to-month minutes, he is playing 29.5 minutes in March and 27.3 minutes. So,
All right, so about
minute
2
and a
minutes
half
more per
difference.
game, but that
Essentially the same.
is that 3 point. I feel like you guys tell me what you think, especially Mikey as a shooter here. I don't think that 3-point percentage is sustainable at all.
It's not.
Right?
No.
But shooting is a lot of confidence.
But can
And
he
when
split
you
the
get hot,
difference at least?
what do you say?
Split the difference. He can live with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
if he's shooting
mid-30s.
30, if he's shooting 33%, 34%.
Yeah, he's useless at 22%.
For the season, he's 38%, by the way.
Yeah, shoot 38.
Okay, so
yeah.
to the question, if he's for the season at 38%, he was 21%.
We'll take that.
Yeah,
means
that is sustainable then.
I mean, he been hitting for the most part. He just had a bad month. If you look at it that way, if he shooting 38, he shot 21 during February. That means his average was crazy.
It's
the other months.
Guys, I don't know.
Yeah.
I knew he had been better just by the eye test. I didn't look at the numbers. And I've asked myself, what the hell's gotten into him? I don't know if JB said, look, we're looking for a guy that you currently haven't been.
Yeah.
And it lit a fire. I have no idea. But whatever he's doing, if we get that LeVert in the playoffs, and that's a big if, 'cause none of us say we trust him because he's been Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
But if we get that guy, we'll give anybody a run.
You know, I ripped Okoro the other day because he's been Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
But Caris Levert is a higher level Jekyll and Hyde
No question.
than Isaac Okoro,
Yeah.
right? Caris Levert has shown you at times in his career is borderline all-star level too far? Am I going too far to say he's played borderline all-star at times?
At times, he's played borderline all-star.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I wonder, obviously in sports, you guys know this better than I do. A lot of it is confidence, how you feeling about yourself, right?
Right.
I wonder, you said to JB, talk to him about this. Wonder if JB said, hey, listen, when we traded for you were playing, where the hell was he? I can't remember.
Detroit?
Indiana?
Indiana.
Yeah,
right?
Indiana.
He was playing great in Indiana.
He was.
I wonder if he said, where's that guy? We need Indiana. Forget the other guys on this team.
Yeah.
Don't try to fit in. Do your thing and play like you
I'd
can.
love to know if he challenged him.
You know, it feels like maybe that happened. Maybe
Yeah.
we're just. I don't know.
Listen.
G, real quick before you go, do you want his shooting splits by month? Because it does show a crazy roller coaster of inconsistency.
Yeah, let's hear him.
In October, 48.5%. November, 31. December, 31. January, 48. February, 21. March, 46.
Wow.
Wow, a
Pre-All-Star
21
break.
sandwiched by 48s?
Pre-All-Star break, 37%. Post-All-Star break, much smaller sample size, only 15, but he's shooting 44% since then.
So his career, his 3-point field goal percentage for the season is 38, and yet in any one month he's never been. He's been at least 7% higher or lower than that every month.
Crazy.
This is what I know about scores in the NBA, right? So like, if you play against, like, there's a lot of guys, my guys either play overseas or when I was playing pickup games, they used to, if you played in high school, they had these pickup games and you come back from college and hoop a little bit. And the guys that played in pros that are top-notch scorers, like, they come to those pickup games and they just don't miss. Like, it really make you like, bro, this dude, you play in Iceland and you don't miss? They're like, you play in New Zealand and you don't miss? And the NBA dudes, they just
the worst NBA player will make every shot in a game like that.
But what people don't realize is, let's not forget, Caris Levert is a guy who's got 50 multiple times in this league. He got 50 back in Brooklyn. He's put up some 40 plus. He got 50 when he played for the Cavs. The thing about Caris Levert is figuring out a role, right? And I like what you said there. Like, somebody had to tell him, or maybe it just clicked for him. the Cavs ain't going to get nowhere by y'all just watching Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
Because think about it. Donovan Mitchell is so good that I think at parts of this season, everybody took turns watching.
Yeah.
Darius Garland was like, hey, could you? Darius Garland wouldn't even dribble for a while. I'm like, bro, they taking the ball from you at point guard. What you doing? Evan Mobley would take half the Evan Mobley just said picks. I'm like, no, that is not what you're supposed to be doing. Remember? We was like, what's wrong with Evan Mobley? He looking shaky out here. Now he's finding his role. And Caris Levert is a guy coming off the bench. You need instant offense. Jetty, you coming off the bench. We need energy. Okoro and Stevenson, here's what we're going to tell y'all to do. Play defense and sit in that little corner right there and wait for the ball.
Right.
And hit maybe 1 out of 3, 2 out of 4 if you have a good day. When you know your role, you hit the ground running.
Yeah, I give JB a lot of credit because now we also should point out the schedule's been much easier. And, we've said the Cavs are proven that they can beat the below 500 teams on a regular basis at a very high rate. It's the losing record against teams that have winning records that jumps out at you.
Yeah, sure.
Because those are the teams you're going to see in the playoffs. Now, all that being said, you can only beat and play who's on your schedule.
Right.
That's right.
So, but just the way they're trending into these playoffs, I think JB gets credit.
Yeah.
Last year, after the break, they limped, they sputtered, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right now, I feel good about them winning in the first round. Like
I do too.
The second round's gravy.
Right.
If they play a competitive series, like a really competitive series with Milwaukee or Boston, to me, I'm not killing them for that.
No, because it's a launching pad the next year. They got 5 or 6 games more experience against the elite
That's
teams.
right. But they have to win that first round series. And right now, as you said, and I agree 100%, at the end of last year, you had no confidence in this team.
No.
And right now, remember, after the All-Star break, they had scuffled a little bit.
They did, and we thought,
here
we go again.
Here we go again.
It
But
felt like
now they're going on the upswing, and I think we're all feeling good about them.
And I think one of the reasons it helped him out a little bit too, JB closed he tightened that rotation up.
Yeah.
It feels like a playoff. Not quite like a playoff rotation, but it's getting a lot closer to the playoff rotation.
You know who's going to play. They're going to go with Lamar, Okoro, Levert, and Jetty, right? And if Jetty ain't bringing them nothing, we'll sit him down, bring Lamar in for some toughness. If Okoro can't hit it, if Lamar ain't really hitting his shot, we'll bring in the court. So now everybody know what they're going to do. And I'm going to be honest with you. They played a little bit different since Kevin Love's not been here. They've been playing a little more I'm going to get the minutes. Because here's the thing. When you got a veteran and you got a guy that's talking about he's won a championship, he knows what it is, they made that move because they don't want people looking over their shoulder.
That's an interesting point, G. Do you think that Love's absence has anything to do with LeVert's emergence?
I do. Because now it's like, when you're an elder statesman, right? You remember what we keep saying. LeBron this, LeBron's Cavs, since the LeBron. They in there hearing these old LeBron, Kyrie stories.
Yeah. And that's over now.
That's over.
Yeah. You don't want to hear it.
We this is all new. And it's almost giving them confidence to be like, when they didn't make a trade at the deadline, they almost said, we got what we need right here.
Right.
Don't look for nothing else.
I wonder, guys, Levert's been a starter for a lot of his career, right? And now he's a bench player. And sometimes players are sensitive about that, right?
Yeah,
They'll be like, why am I not starting? And maybe he's finally embraced this, hey, maybe I'll become the next great sixth man in the league.
That's it.
Well,
Nothing
with
wrong
numbers
with that.
like that, he is.
Yeah.
And maybe he's embraced that. But I still think, I want to see Levert on the floor at the end of games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either.
I think he should be on the floor. I don't know if he will be, Mikey. I don't know what you think about that, but I want to see him on
I think
there.
it depends on matchups. I think the one thing with Levert that he's bought into lately is, regardless of how well he's shooting from 3, he's best with the ball in his hands. He's a facilitator and a creator.
Right.
And it's hard to play off guys like Mitchell and Garland, who are also guys who need the ball. And sometimes when you have 3 guys who need the ball, I know it's a stupid cliche, but there is only one ball. Not everyone gets enough touches. So when Levert comes in with the second unit now with guys like Jetty, who plays off ball, doesn't need the ball to get open. I see Jason Lloyd hopping in. We'll get to Jason in a second. Lamar Stevens, not a guy who creates his own offense. The 2 bigs they play, Allen Mobley, not guys who, for the majority, are creating. He becomes that number 1 option as a facilitator and playmaker, even if he's not scoring 20 points.
Right.
He's running the offense more, which I think has unlocked the ability for him to feel more comfortable in the offense. And when you feel more comfortable, you don't think, you just play. His shooting percentages are going up. That's what I think's really helped him.
You need that guy in the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
You do need
absolutely need that guy in the playoffs. Everything is matchup dependent in the playoffs.
I just think, though, at the end of games in the playoffs, I can't have a player on the floor that can't score. And so that's why I want LeVert in there.
Unless he's doing something like obviously this is an extreme, but if Dennis Rodman, if you're in a game
like Dennis Rodman,
So what I'm saying is you got to bring something at an elite level to the party.
And that's
if
why
you can't score the ball.
I don't really want Lamar Stevens or a Coro. Like I could have Ricky Rubio, at the end
because
of games.
he does things.
Yeah, but
it's gonna be very interesting to see. I'm waiting to see what JB is doing, because if they get in the second round, it's like, okay, what are you doing with Giannis? You can at least, I almost want to see Boston. Give me Boston.
Well, if you get to the 3 seed,
if I can see Boston in the matchup, I feel good about that, because I'm going to just tell you, I give Tatum his credit. But Jaylen Brown, I'm not ready to concede to your dominance as a guard in this league.
Boy, these teams match up really well.
And the Cavs have really struggled against that elite big guy.
They have, And Milwaukee's had an easier time with the Cavs.
Right.
Certainly the Celtics are,
and Embiid.
1 and 3
the Cavs haven't dealt with Embiid very well.
They have nothing for him.
So as good as the Celtics are, they may be the best team.
We match up better with them, perhaps.
Even though in the end, I think you're going to pick the Celtics to win that series.
Yeah.
But I think the Cavs would have a slightly better chance. I think we all agree.
I agree with that. Go ahead, Mike.